Yeah, the Jets, as you mentioned, G, traded away 2 of their 3 best players yesterday. They got 3 first-round picks and some for Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner in comparison. This was a game that was a battle between 2 of the teams vying for the number 1 overall pick, 2 teams that clearly need a quarterback. The Browns, with their move yesterday, said, we like where we're at. The Jets said, let's blow it up, send this team to Mars, and rebuild with as much assets as humanly possible. I had it in a topic idea for Friday, like, in a way, it's a must-win game for Kevin Stefanski. Like, you can't lose to a team that is now so actively out here showing their cards, saying, we don't really care about results right now.
This is an active tank. This is a tank happening in real time in front of everybody's face. You trade your best 2 defensive players, probably the best players on your squad.
2 of the 3 for sure.
2 of the 3. Garrett Wilson is in there, right? But Quinnen Williams is a monster. I mean, Sauce Gardner, you know, say what you want about him having a down year last year, but I mean, he goes to Indianapolis, and the Colts have just signified that they believe that the AFC is open. They don't believe in a lot of people. They don't believe in you AFC North dudes. They said Burrow's out. The rest of y'all is the Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry, Darren. The Kansas City Chiefs, the shine is wearing off a little bit. But I'm looking at it like this. You got to win this game. Like, you kind of have to. And given the fact that you had 2 weeks to come off of it, now they did have the bye as well. It just boils down to this. You know, you got Justin Fields. He played a little better the last time we saw him. They got a big-time win. I want to see what it looks like when you trade those people in the middle of the week, how they go about digesting this. Because if they come out there and they're like, oh, we selling, you could make them quit early.
Yeah.
You could make them get off the sticks early. Like, yeah, let's just go ahead and pack this in.
As much as we laugh about Kevin Stefanski's success on opening drives, there may not be a more impactful opening touchdown he could score than against the Jets on Sunday, because that could just be the nail in the coffin 4 minutes into the game. They could say, you know what? The organization clearly is going in a different direction. Obviously, the players are playing for something for future contracts, but sometimes you know when you go into a matchup, Jason, that it's probably not going to fall in our favor. And if you could throw that first punch early, it could be a knockout blow.
Part of the reason teams buy at the deadline, not so much NFL, but baseball, and baseball is the biggest buyers for sellers, right, of all the sports. Yeah. But also in the NBA, you can see it occasionally. It's the lift that it brings to the clubhouse and the locker room that, hey, they believe in us. This team, the front office believes in this team, and they just gave us what we need to make a run. Well, the opposite of that can be true.
Yeah.
When you cut off the heartbeat of your defense, the rest of the guys looking around the locker room going, well, I guess that's it. I guess that's what they think of us. So I absolutely think it takes an emotional toll. I mean, these aren't just bit pieces that they sold off. These are franchise pillars.
2 best defensive players.
Yeah. So, which leads to a whole other, I'm kind of amused by this. To the question of, is it a must win? And you got 2 wins. There ain't no such thing as a must win. But is it a game they should win? Absolutely. Yes, 100%. This is a game because, you know, it was funny. I was upstairs Monday night. Well, we did the point after with me and Mary Kay and Nick Camino do the point after every Monday night. And Nick's point was something like, hey, you got to win this game, right? Like, it's the Jets. And I said, Nick, there are 3 people in the studio right now at the NBC affiliate in New York going, you got to win this game, right? It's the Browns.
Right.
Well, the funny part about that now is these are 2 teams vying for the top draft pick, right? And these are 2 teams that both, the Jets for sure, Browns, I think we all feel that way, or at least they're playing their cards to make us assume that they're in the market for a quarterback next year. Jason, you've said it 100 times that that's kind of why they got those extra assets. In a way, winning this game puts you further away from the
and that's what's so goofy.
Yeah, for both teams.
And that's the larger point I was going to get to. I was watching some of the reaction to the Jets' moves yesterday, and sometimes, like, I'm a smart ass when I say stuff like this. This time, I'm genuinely asking. Like, the Jets, from what I saw, were applauded for the moves that they made and for the returns that they got. And I'm like, now, wait a minute.
Right.
How come they're applauded for it when the Browns have done the same thing and get crucified for it? Because the Browns have got to replenish their assets. I am not advocating tanking. I'm not. Like, tanking sucks. But at the same time, you have to be realistic about where they're at, what assets they have, what assets they've lost over the last few years, what they lost in the Deshaun trade, and the holes on this roster, and you have to remove the emotion and be realistic about there are a lot of holes on this team, and it's going to take time to fill all these holes. So the Jets just traded their 2 best players, landed a ton of first-round picks for it, and everyone's like, well done. And the Browns get killed. I just can't I can't correlate that in my mind.
What was the Browns record? What was the Jets record last year? Offhand.
They were not good. They fired the coach.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I can look it up real quick.
So here's how it works. It's like the
who was the Jets' first round pick this year?
Who did?
Mahmoud with the 7th pick.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what happens is, all right, it's the stages of grief. So the Jets, they signify. Usually, you signify you starting over when there's a change. The change is, all right, which coach got fired?
5-12 last year.
So they was 5-12. So after that, they fired the coach. So then that's the signifier. Okay, this didn't work. They moved on from Aaron Rodgers. That didn't work. So for the Browns, we ain't really moved on from nothing. The guy that did not work was Deshaun Watson. He's still on the roster. Yeah. The head coach is still on the team, right? They trade, they've done that. Most of the roster is still here. So it's kind of like the signifying blow to most people for fans is like, all right, when you start getting rid of people, then we start to be like, okay, well, we now can go through our stages of grief and understand that guess what? It didn't work. We're going to a new regime. Now, for us, we still got those people. And so now it's like, all right, well, if we want to trade these draft picks and we want to get these picks and replenish, the people is like, we do not trust the people who got these picks, who put the first roster together to then get some more picks to mess them up. So I think that's why people applaud. They're apprehensive.
That's fair. That's totally. See, to me, it's 2 different conversations. Who's in charge and who's making the picks, but you also have to put some groceries in the cabinet.
Yeah.
So if you question whether or not Andrew Berry's the right one to lead this, I think you have more than fair reason to doubt that. But the fact remains, you have to have vehicles to replenish the roster.
Yes.
And then you can have the debate on who do you want in charge of making that call. But the reality is they need multiple first-round picks. That's why I advocated trading Miles last summer because, you've seen it now with Micah. I don't know what Dallas is doing. But the first move of trading Micah, and now you've seen it with the Jets trading Quinnen Williams. Obviously, Myles Garrett's a better player than both Micah Parsons, in my opinion. He's better than both Quinnen Williams.
Yeah.
He's the best defensive player in football.
Yes. But it's the same concept of this is a terrible team. We can't win as we're currently constructed. We have all these holes to fill, so we're going to trade this guy and recoup as much as we can to rebuild this thing. That's the only reason why I advocated. It wasn't that Miles wasn't a great player.
Yeah.
And trading him at this trade deadline was a non-starter because of the cap hit. The time to do it would have been
last summer.
Yeah. And they chose not to, and that's fine. The only point I was trying to make was his career trajectory and when they're going to be good, I don't know that they intersect.
So do you think there was a group of people, because I don't know, they got all kind of advisors, all kind of different people that got some sort of input or say that are saying, hey, we're trying to do some other things. Obviously, we got the stadium thing we're trying to do. We kind of just went through a rebuild like a second ago. I don't think that trading our best player at this moment is a good look. Now, not that they care about the looks, but some of these other teams like the Jets, yes, the Jets have been bad. Yes, some of the other, but no one has been bad as the Browns. Do you think that the past history of the Browns plays a little bit into it?
I absolutely think Andrew Berry did not want on his resume Baker and Miles.
Yeah,
and Deshaun.
Deshaun's top, but Baker was number 1 overall pick.
To leave.
Gone.
Yeah, during his time.
Miles, number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Gone. I don't think he wanted the blood on his hands for both of those moves.
And it's worth noting, New York has a new GM.
Yes.
And that is not the guy who drafted Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner.
Correct.
Joe Douglas did a really good job in his drafting. The rest of the roster organization, not nearly as good, but that's a new GM who did not draft the 2 players he traded
and it's the
for
Jets.
multiple assets.
It's the Jets. They'll probably screw up the picks.
Right.
Yeah.
I have no faith that the Jets are going to get it right. I have very little faith the Browns are going to get it right. But you have to put yourself in the game.
With the Jets, real quick, because I know we got Leroy. Going back to the whole conversation, you can have a great roster. If the quarterback isn't there, you don't really have a chance.
Yeah.
They drafted Quinnen Williams, he set the new defensive tackle record when he signed his contract extension. The next year they drafted Sauce Gardner, who set the cornerback most guaranteed money for a cornerback when he signed his extension. In that same draft, they had Sauce Gardner drafted Jermaine Johnson, who's been one of their best pass rushers, and Breece Hall. They drafted
That's incredible.
The Jets should have been good, bro.
They drafted Garrett Wilson the next year.
They should have
They
been
were
good.
talking about being a playoff team with Aaron Rodgers.
The thing that held them back was with the second overall pick, they took Zach Wilson, who was a catastrophe, and then Aaron Rodgers blew out his Achilles.
Yeah.
And it goes back to you can have all the other pieces in place. If you don't have solid quarterback, you can win on exceptions, but you can't win consistently, and that's why this whole you get assets, you got to find the quarterback. You're not going to win in today's NFL if you don't have a guy you can trust week in and week out to go toe-to-toe with the Burrows, the Allens, the Mahomes, the Lamars in just the AFC.
So if the Browns win Sunday, it'll feel good. Everyone will celebrate. Hey, it's a win. Relieve some of the pressure if there is any on front office, coaching staff, all that. And yet, for the greater good, the Jets just won.
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's wild.
It's backwards.
Yeah, so it's a catch-22, right? There's a lot of storylines to look at.
Both teams want to tie.
We're
being honest.
It's a lot to look at in this game. It's kind of like, man, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
But the saving grace on this is there is no Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning in this quarterback class.
No.
I've said all along, like, I think the Browns are going to draft quarterback. There is not one guy, Mendoza maybe, has emerged over the others, but he's not by any means.
Simpson are the two.
Yeah, he's not by. So I do think that there's going to be probably 4 or 5 guys to pick from, but there's not one guy that all these teams are trying to race to the bottom to get.
It just seems like, I don't know why, he just reminds me of like Jared Goff.
Mendoza?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff.
Yeah, and I'm like, but yeah, Goff is good. You're like, Goff is, yeah. But then you're like, I mean, am I going to lose games? It's tough because this is going to be one of the off seasons. Good gracious, it don't never stop with us do it.
No.
We're in November talking about the offseason.
And we got Leroy, so last point. Let's say the Jets do have the first pick and the Browns get the second choice of quarterback.
Yeah.
The Jets have no track record of picking the right one.
Exactly.
So you actually may be taking off the pressure seat because the Jets are the ones that are going to mess up, and then the better one falls into your lap. And